internship in our undergraduate degree. So yeah, thank you for the reminder. So, well, all our undergraduate students, no matter you're a business student, fashion design student, science, computer science, engineering, so on and so forth, I don't care which degree you are studying in, you are required to complete at least one internship that is relevant to your major. So this internship, it can be held in Hong Kong, it can be done in mainland Taiwan, or any parts of the world. So as you can see, the pictures that I put in my slide, you will see that some of our international students, they chose to have their internship in Hong Kong, while some of them chose to have their internship, somewhere else. It's totally up to you, but the point of incorporating the internship to guarantee internship for our students is that I want to make sure every one of you don't just learn in the classroom, but you also understand how to apply your knowledge in the real world. And I also want you to take this opportunity to develop your professional network at a very early stage. So I'm sure Jerson and Bianca later on, they will share a little bit more. Here are some of the companies where our students have internship at. Don't be fooled by their name, given that like even Bloomberg, it's, everyone knows that is a financial institution, do all the investment. It doesn't mean that they don't need someone who do marketing. Grand Hyatt, a world-known hotel brand, they also need engineer. So don't be fooled by their name and nature of business, and think that only certain kinds of students from certain majors, they will have the opportunity is in all these big names. That's totally not the case. Okay, of course, if you are very, if you're very talented in building up your business, we also have this program to support our students. So I think I will just stop here for a while, because I think like Jerson and also Bianca sharing will definitely be even more beneficial and even more interesting than what I'm going to say. After that presentation, I will, share more information about the admission arrangement and also scholarship. So stay tuned. Right now, let me pass the time to Jerson and Bianca.
Okay, hello guys. My name is Jershan and I'm going to be presenting with Bianca. So we're both from the Philippines and we're both studying PolyU. I'm Bianca, you can introduce yourself first.
Okay. So I'm Bianca and I'm a final year student and I'm majoring in accounting and finance. I'm actually from Jubilee Christian Academy, a high school in the Philippines, and our curriculum is K-12. So I applied to PolyU by submitting my SAT, IELTS, and my high school diploma, which was able to get me to study in PolyU. So Jershan will introduce and share how he applied to PolyU.
Okay, so my name is Jershan. I'm currently in year 3 studying aviation engineering. So I actually went to the same high school as Bianca. We both went to Jubilee Christian Academy and also K-12, but I applied using ACT, AP, TOEFL, and my high school diploma. So basically, if you guys are worried about applying abroad and needing to do IB or A level, you really don't need those. You can just take your depth ed curriculum and just take other requirements at PolyU probably requires, or other universities abroad that also require. So we'll move on to our hall life.
Okay, so we're actually both living in Homantin Hall, and personally, I chose this hall because it's really near the MTR station. It's like a 2-minute walk, and you can also walk to campus, which is like around 10 minutes only. So I'm actually living in Yellow Hall. It's like, because like the halls are divided in different parts. So I'm in Yellow Hall and I'm still living in halls up until my final year. So I was able to do this because I joined the social media team and I organized many activities to earn points, which is what we call the special readmission scheme. And this helped me secure my slot for my entire uni life. So Jershan will share his experience in the halls.
Okay, so actually I'm currently in the Green Hall, or College of Undergraduate Researchers and Innovators. So this hall is especially for people who want to do research in their university life. So if basically it's a research program hosted by PolyU where you can either do it individually or by group. And if you participate in this program, halls will actually you will actually secure 1 more year of halls. So as international students, you will probably be offered around 2 years for generally for all international students. But applying to this kind of research program also gives you an extra year. So essentially, you still have to work for your final year if you do want to stay in halls throughout your study.
So next, I'll be talking about my internship and part-time experience. So currently, I'm working in a startup as a digital marketer. Like, even if I'm an accounting and finance student, I can work as a digital marketer because PolyU does not focus only in accounting or finance, but we also have different courses for business such as marketing. And during my university time, I work in the global engagement office as a part-time student assistant. Now I'll give the time to Jershon to talk about his experience.
Yes. So as for me, this summer I'm actually working for a satellite manufacturing company, and here it's more aerospace related. Like my major is aviation, but because PolyU's degrees are very flexible and very broad, so you really learn a lot of things, and you can work in various kinds of industries for that. And aside from this, during the semesters, I also participate in some research projects. So there are really a lot of opportunities for you in PolyU or in Hong Kong in general. So you can do part-time jobs or research if you're into that during your semester, and also a lot of internship opportunities for you guys. So I know in the Philippines there are really not much internship opportunities. So studying here in Hong Kong will give you that much opportunities. That's the advantage of studying here. So moving on.
So there are actually a lot of like student associations or activities in PolyU. So these two that I've shown here are the associations that I join or participate in. The first one's the International Student Association. This is not only limited to international students, but locals and mainland students can also gather around and get to know each other. And the South Asian Society doesn't mean that it's only for South Asians, but everyone can join and can meet a lot of different people. So these student associations can actually help you connect with different people from different majors and meet new people, your seniors or your juniors. And Jershon will be talking about the other clubs in PolyU.
Okay, so before I get into this, I just want to add one more point to the internship part. You do actually get paid for your internships in Hong Kong, unlike most internships in the Philippines. Okay, so for the clubs I participated in, I was part of a Hong Kong Institution of Engineers student chapter. So this is basically like the typical orgs you have in Ateneo or UP or LaSalle or UST or something. But Hong Kong HKIE, Hong Kong Institution of Engineers, is specifically for an organization for engineers, not inside PolyU, but also it's connected to a larger organization that has student chapters in all the different Hong Kong universities. So being part of the student chapter, you basically organize events related to engineering or like delegations. Like for example, our student chapter is actually hosting a delegation to Singapore this summer. We also have career talks and site visits, so we can invite you guys to visit other companies such as those big engineering related companies. And also, if you guys are religious or you know, I was also part of a Christian organization called Bridges International. So Philippines is a really big is well majority Catholic. So if you guys are looking for those kinds of societies or clubs, there are actually a lot of them in PolyU. As for other religions, I'm not sure, but you would probably find one in campus.
So moving on, so life outside of university. So during my free time, I usually go out with my friends and explore Hong Kong because everything's actually very convenient here. So some of you may think Hong Kong's just like a city, there's nothing else to do. There's actually a lot of things to explore in Hong Kong. There are also different islands that you can go to if you don't want the city. And there's also Disneyland. You can go anytime because commuting is very convenient here. So as you can see in these pictures, like I gather with my friends to enjoy. And there's also Halloween. Halloween is kind of a big thing here, so you can dress up and enjoy with your friends. So Jershan will talk about his life outside of university.
Yeah, so adding to Bianca's point, other than islands or other Hong Kong stuff, if you are bored of Hong Kong, it's actually pretty convenient to go to Macau or Shenzhen if you guys are into that. And if you're worried about not having friends, or if you're an introvert like me, you can also have fun in Hong Kong by yourself. Like, visit random places. Like if you just visit random places. So these are some pictures that I took on my solo trips exploring Hong Kong. So if my favorite picture here is that picture in the middle. That's actually a giant spider. It's like this big. That's pretty interesting for me. So yeah, that's all we have for our presentation. And if you guys have any questions about our life in Hong Kong or about academics and stuff, please feel free to leave it in the comments or turn on your mic.
So thank you. And now we'll give it back to Jessica to talk more about PolyU.
Thank you both. So I actually learned from Jordan that my PowerPoint slide did not work while I was presenting the first part. So maybe I will just quickly go through, or actually just show you the slide. Then you don't have to miss anything. Let me see. But I couldn't see my slide again. That's interesting. Okay. Can you see my slide now? Yes, no? Can you see my screen? Yes.
Yes,
okay.
we can see it.
Sorry, because I can't see your face or other faces while I'm showing the slide. So if my slide is not moving, please turn on your audio and let me know. So these are the slides that I was actually showing. Like the first part that I talk about, I personally why I think Hong Kong is a land of opportunities. And when I talk about the regional headquarters, other countries chose Hong Kong as the place to set up their regional headquarters. Here are some statistics. As you can see, US, Japan, UK, even other European countries or Asian countries, Hong Kong is actually a very popular destination for them to set up their regional headquarters. And that actually means a prospectus career mobility and also career opportunities for students, especially international students who can master multiple languages. All these figures are extracted from the government website. It's based on a survey done between 2018 even to 2020 after COVID. So you can see that no matter it's before COVID or after COVID, actually Hong Kong remains strong. It's a very attractive city that attract foreign capital. And this is the slide when I talk about like why Hong Kong's strategic position and location as the gateway to China, the window to the international world, actually also benefit international students whenever they have to go to somewhere else and then develop their own network. And the ranking slide about the PolyU, it attracts good students and also attract good faculties. And also the rankings in different subjects that offered by the 9 units, three schools and 6 faculties at PolyU. So just note that there are actually 2 faculties under engineering discipline. One is the Faculty of Engineering and also one is the Faculty of Construction and Environment. So in my previous presentation, I briefly talked about some features about these 9 units. For example, like the humanities, they don't actually study like Shakespeare, those boring stuff about language, but it actually studies very interesting majors like linguistics and also speech therapy. School of Design, School of Fashion and Textile, School of Hotel and Tourism Management, they have their own features as well. So I don't want to drag on too much on this slide because I have already covered it in my first part, although the PowerPoint slide was not working. I hope that if you feel interested, you can find out more information from the website after this presentation. And these are the three subjects if you're particularly interested in, you should definitely look at PolyU, given that we are not only top ranked in the world, but also top ranked in Hong Kong, in the city as well. So as mentioned by Justin and Bianca, actually there are many great opportunities in PolyU, even outside classroom, for them to, ride on, and then you can have a very colorful student life. So definitely one of the features is the global exposure. I think it's a little bit unfortunate given that in the past 3 years, when Bianca and Jerson joined us, basically COVID hit. So some of the global or international activities, they have to turn it to online. But now everything resumed to normal. Even in Hong Kong, no mask mandate, no quarantine. We can have our overseas trips. So I'm planning to travel to Philippines next month in person. So now all our exchange program also resume to normal. When you join PolyU, by the time you go for exchange, definitely you will have the real in-person, real life international experience. So this is the part that I talk about guarantee internship, and just now Bianca and Justin also share their experiences of being intern. Just like Jason mentioned, actually most of the internship in Hong Kong is paid internship, so you got your own salary. Actually, the same happens in the WIE, the built-in internship as well. So even if you work in my office, like Bianca, work as a student assistant in my global engagement office, it's also a paid internship. That is also one of the ways that you can help finance your, your studies. So, Jason and Bianca also cover some of the accommodation, student hall services. Other than hall services, PolyU actually offers other kinds of student support to make sure that you don't have so much to worry about when you come to study with us, like your physical health, your mental health, and your academic advising matters. I think one common theme, one common, emphasis that both Jerson and Bianca mentioned is that actually PolyU offers a very flexible programs. The flexibility is reflected at the time that you apply to us. In your application form, each student, you can apply for up to 2 programs with 1 application form, 1 application fee. You don't have to pay extra. And then even within one single major discipline, you can actually choose later on when you have a better idea about that particular major. So let me take like building science and engineering as an example. This is a Bachelor of Engineering degree. Actually, under this degree, there are 2 kinds of majors. One is the building science and engineering. Another one is building science and engineering, bracket building services engineering. Usually, if I do a physical talk, I would definitely ask my audience, like, if you can identify like any differences between the 2 majors, I guarantee you that you'll get a place in PolyU. But now it's a virtual setting, it's very hard to do so. But I guess if based on the names, it sounds very confusing. So I think even if you ask an engineer, he or she may not be able to tell you the exact differences between the 2 as well. That's why we have to offer this flexible admission scheme. Basically, when you apply, you just apply to the Bachelor of Engineering, Building Science and Engineering scheme. And then in year 1, you can take introductory courses of this whole broad discipline, get a better understanding of what exactly you will study if you choose building science and engineering or building services engineering. So after you have a better idea at the end of year 1, you can choose the major that you like and spend the rest of your undergraduate study time into that particular major. So just, hypothetically, let's assume that I choose the Bachelor of Engineering in Building Science and Engineering major. So once I decided my major, I can actually add a secondary major. Depends on the program requirement. This major allows me to add the secondary major in either artificial intelligence and data analytics or innovation and entrepreneurship. Again, I can even choose to declare a minor in different discipline. PolyU offers minors in 5 major domains: design and hospitality, health and social sciences, language and linguistic, engineering and IT, also business and entrepreneurship. It's totally up to you. I think this is why Jerson and Bianca said that the flexibility in PolyU for you to customize your own program, that actually prepares you for different kinds of career options, even throughout your undergraduate studies when you choose your internship. Well, minor in Chinese language and culture is designed especially for international students. If you want to pursue a minor in language and if you want to master Chinese in order to have a better, career preparation in Asia on the continent, probably this may be one of the minors that you want to consider to take. Okay, in terms of admission requirement, we make conditional offer or firm offer. Conditional offer means that you don't have to wait until your final result is out. Please apply with your predicted grade or your school transcript. If you're good enough, we will give you conditional offer and tell you how many score that you have to obtain in order to get into PolyU. So when you apply to PolyU, just make sure that you fulfill the general requirement, English requirement as well. So IB, GCEA are listed here, but we also accept students who apply on the Philippine national exam, so your Philippine HSC, high school certificate. If you are taking the local curriculum, we are expecting you to obtain overall average score of 80% or above. That will be the minimum score for admissions. And A-level, it will be 3 A-level subjects, and then boundary score will be about 3B. IB diploma, it will be 30 or above. For your English, if you are taking IB diploma, your IB English is good enough to satisfy the English language requirement. If you are taking GCEA or your Filipino local exam, you may want to take IELTS, TOEFL, but actually there is a whole list like SAT, ACT, so on and so forth, that those English exams, you can also use them to fulfill PolyU's English language requirement. Some programs, they may have their preference in particular subjects, but let me emphasize that they only have preferences. Preferences doesn't mean required. So there is no such requirement that you have to take a particular subject so that you can get into a particular major. It's not like that, but it's more about the preferences. So when you apply, please submit your all these documents for us. Just a reminder, in Hong Kong, it's not like in UK or in US, you have to submit a separate application for each university in Hong Kong. So if you want to apply to PolyU, you have to go to the PolyU website and then just to submit application. This is the tuition fee and the living expenses and everything that we expect every international student have to spend in Hong Kong in PolyU every year. So you can see that I would say the tuition fee is actually very reasonable and relatively low. Because if you just look at this table, you may think that the fee and expenses is a little bit, significant. But let me show you this. Like if you want to study in UK, US calendar, the tuition fee will be way much higher than if you study in Hong Kong. But don't forget, PolyU is ranked number 65th in the world and also number 5th in the Young University ranking in the world. So you are paying a lot less, but you are getting the top quality education. However, if you go to UK, US calendar, I'm not sure which tier of university that you are aiming at, but no matter you are aiming at top tier or low tier university, they are charging the same. So scholarship, PolyU actually is pretty generous in terms of scholarship. At the government level, the Hong Kong government has well-enrolled scholarship. At the university level, my university, PolyU, offers very good scholarship, which I'm going to cover later. But here, I also want to point out that one good thing about Hong Kong is our friendly visa policy. So now when you come to PolyU to study, once you graduate, you can actually stay in Hong Kong for 24 months. With your student visa, and then you can look for a job. If you want to be a permanent resident, all you have to do is just to stay in Hong Kong for 7 years, including the 4 years that you are going to spend in your undergraduate study, and then you can apply to be a permanent resident. So scholarship, PolyU offers both academic and non-academic scholarship up to 200 20,000 Hong Kong dollars per year. That means it covers all tuition plus your living allowances. For non-academic, we consider students' talent in sports, art and culture, leadership and community services, STEM, and even other areas. So I would say it's a pretty good scholarship scheme. You don't have to apply for scholarships separately. Once you submit your admission application, you will be automatically considered for admission scholarship. So for 2024 and 25, that means 2024 September intake, our application opens this year on September 21st. So let me remind you that the earlier you submit application, the better the chance for scholarship and admissions, because we actually do all our assessment on a rolling basis. So once you receive our conditional offer, you have 2 weeks to accept our offers. This year, I can tell you that the percentage of getting scholarship for early round students is way much higher than students who receive scholarship if they, when they apply for main round. So this is a warm reminder to you if you want to get a better chance for scholarship and also admission. So that's the end of my presentation. Here is my email address, and you can see the email and also the website of my university. So in case you want to get into, if you want to get in touch with us after this session, please feel free to do so. So let me stop sharing my screen, and then I will pass the time back to Bree.
Yes, okay. Thank you so much for that wonderful and enlightening presentation. So with that, our Q&A forum is open. So if you have any questions, please feel free to send them in the chat box addressed to everyone. Or if you're shy, you can send your questions directly to me or directly to Miss Jessica. So yeah, please do send in your questions, and I'm pretty sure our panel would be very glad to answer them.
Don't hesitate to raise question. We don't bite.
Again, please do again, if you have any questions, please feel free to send them in the chat box, or again, if you're shy, you can send your questions directly to me or to Miss Jessica. So actually, I got a question. So first question is, hello, how is the safety in Hong Kong? That's the first question.
I will pass it to Bianca and Jerson. I think their experience is the genuine one.
I think I can talk about a little bit of it, because in Hong Kong, I go out pretty late, like sometimes even alone, like maybe like midnight. It's pretty safe in Hong Kong. Yeah, I just go around by myself, and you don't have to worry about anything because people don't really care about you, and they don't like, if you're walking around, if you think like people, if you're like conscious, you don't have to be conscious because everyone's just minding their own business here. So even if you're a girl, it's fine. It's very safe. Yeah.
I agree. I've been to the islands until like 10 or 11 or 8 p.m. and that's still like, it's pretty safe out here. Yeah, compared to the Philippines, of course, way more safe.
I was just back from US last week because I was on a business trip. Honestly, if you ask me, Hong Kong is way even safer than in US.
Okay, thank you so much for those answers. Again, if you have any there, okay, I got another question. So how are the living expenses in Hong Kong how are they in comparison to living expenses here in the Philippines?
It's more expensive, but it also depends on your lifestyle. Like you can choose to eat cheaper stuff like that are pretty decent, but like if you want to eat more expensive stuff, it's really your choice. But it is way more expensive than the Philippines, of course.
Fair enough. But I guess even if you go to other countries, probably you will face the same problem.
Yeah, in Europe and in the US, it's more expensive than Hong Kong. So I think Hong Kong's pretty reasonable-ish. Yeah.
Okay,
But of
thank
course,
you.
if you go to Disneyland every week, your expenses will definitely be much higher.
Of course. Of course.
Okay.
Okay, I got a question from my side as well, Bree, if you don't mind. A student asked if SAT or ACT required for admission. If yes, what is the range or score to get accepted in PolyU? Okay, first of all, thank you for your question. It really depends on which qualification you want to apply on the strength of. So if you are going to take the US curriculum, then you have to take either SAT or ACT plus 3 AP or SAT subjects. So that is the US curriculum qualification. But if you are going to apply on IB, GCEA, or the local curriculum, SAT or ACT is not required as long as you have the IELTS or TOEFL or other exam to fulfill the English requirement. Okay.
Thank you so much. There's another question here asking the importance of extracurriculars in the app, like in your application. Whether I guess they're trying to ask whether you value like academic standing more than extracurriculars.
Joshon and Bianca, did you put any extracurricular activities when you applied to us? Do you still remember?
I in my high school, like me, I don't really have that much extracurricular activities. So for me, I think it didn't really matter. It's more on the academic rather than the extracurriculars because this is what I realized right now, that my extracurriculars in high school didn't really mean much when I came to Hong Kong.
How about Joshon?
For me, I did extracurriculars in high school, but it really also depends on your grade, of course. You can't do a lot of extracurriculars and have a really low grade and expect to get in PolyU, because PolyU does have if I'm correct, they have a grade limit, right? At least for scholarships, they do.
Okay, so my answer is because now we have non-academic scholarship and admission scheme. So depends on whether you think you are talented in your academic or in your non-academic. If you are not that talented in academic, you may want to put a lot of emphasis on your extracurricular activities so that you can get a lower admission criteria to get into PolyU. So if this is the case, then we value a lot on your non-academic side. So in your application paper, if you want to be considered for the non-academic admission route, you have to indicate your choice. Then you have to provide as much information as you can about your extracurricular activities so that I know that you are a good candidate to be admitted to the PolyU. However, most of the students are like Bianca. You spend most of your time in classroom doing all your exams. So in this case, your extracurricular activities will only add points to your application, but it is not a primary consideration for us to assess all your extracurricular activities. So I think it really depends. Of course, if everything being constant, there are two students who did exactly the same in classroom, one with good extracurricular activities and one without. Definitely, we are happy to admit the one with extracurricular activities to PolyU more. So that's the scenario. Okay, I got a question. If we did not take the AP or IB curriculum, it's a certification stating English is the main medium of instruction enough to fulfill the English language requirement, or do we have to take the TOEFL or English test? Okay, if you don't do AP, if you don't do IB, yes, you still have to fulfill the English requirement. No matter it is IELTS, TOEFL, GCSE, GCE, O level, IGCSE, there is a tons of list, but you have definitely take one. You have to take one of them in order to fulfill the English requirement. Because in PolyU, although we are in Hong Kong, we are an English university. Everything is taught in English. I have to make sure that you fulfill, you meet that English requirement so that you can understand and comprehend everything in classroom here.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I have another question. There's another question as well, rather. Like you said earlier, there is a separate application for universities in Hong Kong. Is there a fee or is there no fee?
You mean application fee?
Yes.
Yes, different university charge application fee. Every university in Hong Kong charges application fee. Okay, but the application fee in PolyU is actually very minimal. We are talking about 57 US dollars for one application. And your application, as I said, you can apply for up to 2 choices. So it's actually a very minimum charge. For other university, you really have to check their website.
Okay, thank you. There's a follow-up question about that. So that application fee, it can't be waived, or is it really just you have to pay the 57 to apply?
But this is a very tricky question. Unless you can show that you have a genuine difficulties, a strong justification that waiver can be granted. In normal circumstances, we don't grant any waiver for application. I just put a link in the chat box for the English requirement. So for students who want to check what are the exam you can take in order to fulfill the English requirement, please refer to it. Getting back to the application fee waiver question. As I said, in normal circumstances, no waiver will be granted. I think this is actually a signal that if you want to be considered for admission and also for scholarship, that minimal fee for application is one of the signs that you show your real interest, that you want to be considered by the university. So don't take waiver in a very, don't ask for waiver in a very casual way. Although I said that if you are able to prove your genuine difficulties, that the university may consider, but don't take it casually.
Okay, thank you so much for answering that question. As of now, I have no more questions on my end. So we can just wait another minute or so for any questions. And if there are none, I'd be glad to close the session. But yeah, so far, thank you so much for answering those questions. I honestly also got a lot of information out of the admissions process and just PolyU in general. So yeah, as of now, there are still no questions on my end. Are there any others, Jessica?
I put my email address in the chat box in case any students you have any questions. If you're too shy to ask it about now, or you just think about some question later on, then feel free to drop me an email. I'll be happy to answer it. We actually have a WhatsApp, business that you can drop your question there as well. So if you email me, I can share that WhatsApp code or WhatsApp number with you. Then it may be even a more convenient way whenever you have questions that our staff can help. And if you think that, okay, PolyU is actually an interesting university that you want to know more, feel free to let your careers teacher knows in your school knows. Then actually we are happy to conduct an admission talk in your school later on this year as well.
All right. So as of now, there are no questions on my end. And I guess that means that we can close the session. And with that being said, thank you so much again, Ms. Jessica Loh and Justin and Bianca, for your time. If you would like to get to know more about PolyU, please fill out this interest form, which I will send in the chat right now. So hold on. Okay, so please fill out this form if you would like to get to know more about PolyU. And yeah, thank you so much again, Miss Jessica Loh and Jerson and Bianca, for your time. And
thank you, Bree, for inviting us.
Yes, thank you so much again. And don't forget also to stay tuned. We still have one more university for our college fair tonight. So yeah, thank you so much again.
Okay, thank you everyone. Have a restful weekend, and I hope to see you later in PolyU. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we will start our next college session in around 4 minutes. So please use the time to take a short break and we will be back. You did. All right. Mm, okay, so now let us welcome the Central European University. So based in Vienna, Miss Adrienne Wojcicki is here to represent the Central European University, and she will answer questions again about the university student life, academics, and so much more. So yeah, let's give them a virtual round of applause.
Thank you so much, everyone. My name is Adrienne Wojcicki, and I work for Central European University as a student recruitment officer. And I'm very happy to be here today and just give you a short introduction about our university. I also would like to share that I have graduated from this university, so I have gained my Master's of Arts in human rights law from the legal studies department. So I have firsthand experience how it is to study at our university. So Central European University was founded in 1991. And as you know, it was a very interesting and very important time in history because it was a time when the transition into democracy took place. We are accredited in the United States as well as in Austria. So it means that the degree you receive from us will be well accepted and widely accepted and very valuable. We are located in Vienna, and we are a research-intensive university, primarily focusing on the social sciences and humanities. We have 52 English language programs, and we have undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral programs as well. We are very international, and that really sets us apart from other universities. And yet we are very, very small. We have 1,400 students, but they are coming from over 130 countries. Our faculty members are also very international. They are coming from more than 40 countries. Besides that, we are very interested in participating in international university associations, such as Civica, which is primarily a European focused university association, but also Open Society University Network, which is more global. So there is a lot of research and cultural activities that are going on our campus. We have a mission. So our university was founded upon the values of open societies and democratization, diversity for respect for diversity and also for human rights, good governance, and the rule of law. And basically, these values will come up during your class discussions as well. We are focusing on critical thinking, so we really encourage you to approach a complex problem through critical points of views, and also with an open mind, as well as interdisciplinary approach. So basically, we believe that you will gain a very deep and thorough understanding of a problem or of an issue if you view that and examine it from separate lenses. So basically through separate lenses of different disciplines. And so basically, if you come and study with us, you will have a chance to take courses from other departments as well. And that really helps you to also form your own ideas and opinions. So we are located in Vienna, which is in the heart of Europe, and it has been voted the most livable city, I think like maybe 3 times in a row now. It's very cosmopolitan. The city has so much to offer, both culturally and education-wise as well. It's very easy to get by with English, but if you want, you can also learn German. And you will have many opportunities if you want to practice your German as well. There are a lot of opportunities to go outside and enjoy nature as well. For example, we have a hiking club for students who really enjoy going out in nature. But there are also several museums, theaters. So there is always something to do. Vienna is a very green city, so very like they focus on sustainability. There is an excellent public transportation system, and Vienna is also a university city. So there are about 200,000 students studying in Vienna. So our CEU campus is located in the 10th district in Favoriten. It's a very nice building, and basically originally CEU was in Hungary, Budapest, and about 4 years ago we moved to Vienna. So basically we are renting now what's a formal bank building. It's very nice. It's a 6-story building, and we have refurbished it. So there is a really nice, we have transformed it into a very nice learning and working environment. We have very, very nice classrooms, and these are all equipped with the latest technology. We have a very, very nice library. It's I'll tell you a little bit more about that. And we have a very nice auditorium, computer and PhD labs, and a lot of nice places for students to hang out, or also if they want to study in groups or individually, there are some spaces to accommodate that as well. So just a little bit of introduction to our CEU students. So as I mentioned, we have students from 130 countries, and we are a very safe and inclusive community. Since there are so many students and there are 14 departments, there is always something going on. So there is a very intellectually inspiring atmosphere that I really enjoy. And it's actually fun to work here as well. It's very nice because we do not have a dominant nationality. So this past academic year, for example, just to illustrate, the 10 most represented countries were Hungary, the United States, Turkey, India, Germany, Australia, Ukraine, Romania, Italy, and Russia. And when I prepared for this presentation, I also took a look of how many students from the Philippines we have. And basically, since we are quite new in a way, that we were established in 1991, so in the beginning we had students from the Philippines here or there, but since 2014, we have been admitting students from the Philippines every year. So by now we have 65 alumni, and I checked the current enrollment as well. So we have 8 students. 1 is studying at a bachelor's level, 5 are master students, and 2 of them are doing doctoral research at our university. So how is it to learn at our university? So basically, we have a 7-to-1 student-faculty ratio. So this means that you get very individualized attention from your professors. So basically, we have small class sizes. Of course, we have lectures, but it's more like seminar-style courses based on discussion. You will be requested to prepare and do your readings from day to day. You will need to hand in assignments, work on group projects, also to hand in essays and your dissertation when the time comes. So basically, whenever you give a presentation or you hand in an assignment, you will receive individualized feedback. And that really helps you because your professor will highlight your strengths, but they will also help you to improve and to be better at either presenting your ideas or for example, be better or to gain a deeper understanding of a specific issue. So basically, the CEU library is the largest English language, has the largest English language holdings in the region. And the staff member, like the library staff, is very kind, very approachable, and they will really help you to find either books or articles or journals or whatever you will need. So CEU is academically well established, and we have many professors who are coming from Ivy League schools, for example. They come to teach a semester or a year here with us, and there is a lot of cooperation with other universities. So basically, you can go and study somewhere else, either in Europe or in the world. And we have excellent student support services as well. So since we are a small community, we do pay attention to you. And so basically, the departmental coordinators are very, very helpful and approachable. We also have a student services center. So if you need help with your visa, with your class registrations, or you need transcripts or other things, they are very approachable. and helpful. I would also like to point out that we have excellent career services. So basically our career services staff will work with you to help you figure out your career options, help you to make a viable plan. Also, they prepare you with skills on how to find the right positions and internships for you. And so we start working with you quite early on, making sure that you will receive all the support you would need. I also would like to point out the Center for Academic Writing because it's a very nice resource. So the staff members here will help you, for example, when you have to write an assignment. You can go there and they will help you to go over your paper with you, and they may help you to clarify your ideas or make your paper more readable, more smooth. The Center for Academic Writing also offers many language courses, so Spanish, French, German, if you're interested. So besides your studies, you can also take language courses. We also have a medical center, and we offer counseling services like psychological counseling services as well. So it's a very nice addition. And there are always many community building activities. And through these, you can also network with other students from other levels and also from other departments. So most of the time, our students really enjoy these and taking part in these activities. We also have an intercultural festival, which is very nice every year. Basically, students from the same countries will get together. They may give they may present their countries. They cook their traditional food. They wear their traditional clothing. So and sometimes they perform. So it's very, very colorful and very fun to participate in this festival. And we also have the CEU Picnic and Sports Day, which is also very nice. It's like CEU students and staff and alumni come together and they spend a very nice day, a very active day together. So about our undergraduate programs. So CEU has established our undergraduate programs a little bit more than 3 years ago. And basically, our undergraduate programs grew out of our master's and doctoral programs. So basically, CEU professors from the disciplines that were most popular amongst our master's and doctoral students, they took those disciplines and those programs, and they took out the best parts of these programs and they transferred it into our undergraduate programs. So basically we currently offer 3 programs on an undergraduate level. The first one is the BA in Philosophy, Politics and Economics. So basically the basis of this program originates from Oxford, where they have established this program about 100 years ago in 1920. But the combination proved to be so successful because many current leaders and politicians studied this, and this combination proved to give them such a good foundation upon which they could build on their further knowledge, that we also decided that this will be a good foundation for our students. And of course, we added our own perspectives to this program. So this is a very nice program. This is our most competitive as well. So basically in philosophy, politics, and economics, you learn how to think critically, how to present your ideas on a very understandable way. You will learn how to reason, how to defend your points of view, basically these programs last for 4 years, and basically in the first year you will need to take foundational courses, and as you proceed, you will be able to narrow down your interests, and you can pick your minor, you can pick your major and also your minor, and basically we give you a lot of flexibility in combining all the things you want to study. The other program we have is the Culture, Politics, and Society. This is also a very, very good program. And basically, here we focus on mostly complex issues. What's true, what's not true, you know, there is a waste of information that's coming your way. How do you know what's good, what's not? How do you filter through this? How do you critically think about complex issues? How do you break down a complex issue, and how do you solve those issues? So those are very interesting questions, as well as we would like to prepare you to share your knowledge with the society, and so that the society would benefit from your knowledge. And we would also like to prepare you to be able to use multiple channels, not just only, you know, writing academic papers and giving lectures that are also important, but also to be more trendy in a way, to reach a very diverse audience, like, for example, through preparing podcasts, or preparing content for websites, or preparing videos, or documentaries for that matter. So the same way, this program is also for 4 years, and you will also, like, the structure is very similar to the previous program, and basically you will be taking foundational courses, and the same way as you proceed with your studies, you will be able to narrow down your field of interest based on your talents and based on your passion. And the last program we have is the BA in Data Science and Society. Well, I usually say that this program is for geeks who want to change the world. So basically, I would definitely recommend this program for people who are very good at mathematics, who are very good at natural sciences, and they would like to take this knowledge and use it for the benefit of society, and to tackle social problems. And so, for example, just to give you an idea, so basically there is a lot of information and data on, for example, human behavior, and basically our students, or some of our students, are working on identifying patterns, and they are writing programs, and they are coming up with separate ideas on how to be able to identify patterns and get and breaking down complex problems to be more understandable, and bringing us closer to understanding what's happening. So basically, these are all very multidisciplinary courses, and they are also accredited in the US and Austria. And basically, in your third year, you will be able to go and study somewhere else in at one of our partner institutions. So if you come here, you will really have a very international experience. So the application process and requirements for our undergraduate programs are as follows. So basically, what happens is we have an online application form. So you will need to be able to really submit a very well-written, complete application form. And then when you submit it, then our admissions office will review it and see, and they just check formally whether you have everything completed. And if they find everything in order, then they will transfer your application to our program-specific selection committee. And so basically these program-specific selection committees consist of professors who will be your future teachers. And so they read each and every application. So I would really encourage you to work on your application essay and motivation letter to a very good extent, because we also offer a few, or it depends, but we also offer scholarships in the form of tuition waivers, and that are allocated based on merit. So basically, the stronger your application is, the higher your chances of receiving scholarships become. So basically, we have the online application form. We also ask you for your high school records. Also, if you have some tests, you can submit those. Or for example, if you have gone to, I don't know, for example, if you go to some competitions, you should also include all that results as well. We also require proof of English proficiency, your CV, an application essay, a motivation letter, and we also ask for a recommendation letter. Now, this recommendation letter should be written by a person who is very familiar with your academic work, because the more personalized the recommendation letter is, the higher your chances of getting in will become. So basically, I would encourage you to reach out to your professors and, explain which university and which program you're applying to, so that they can write your recommendation letter tailored to that program as well. And then there will be also an interview, but that's for finalists only. So about finances at our undergraduate programs. So basically we charge a tuition fee of 7,000 euros per year. And also there is an estimated additional cost of attendance, which is like 12,000 euro per year. But this includes accommodation in the dorm, which is about 5,000 euro per year. We also cover health insurance for you, and there are some scholarships I mentioned. So for graduate programs, we have 1 year and 2 year master programs, and also doctoral programs. You can see the disciplines listed here. And for graduate programs, the application checklist is quite similar to our undergrad program application checklist. So basically we have the CEU online application form. For master students, we ask for 2 letters of recommendations. And for doctoral students, we ask for 3. We also ask for academic records, CV, writing samples, proof of English proficiency, and sometimes the standard test scores. But there may be some program-specific requirements as well. Not all programs require GRE, GMAT, and so on. And we also charge an application fee of 30 euros. But with that application fee, you can apply to up to 5 separate programs. For graduate programs, there are more scholarships available. The tuition for our master's level vary between 12,000 to 15,000 euros per year. And for doctoral level, we charge 15,000 or until 17,000 euro per year. These are program and department specific numbers. So this is just to give you an idea. And CEU estimates that you will need an additional about 1,000 euro per month to cover your accommodation costs, cost of utilities, meals, city transportation pass, instructional materials, and also to cover some personal expenses. So CEU provides generous scholarships on master's and also on doctoral levels as well. So these may cover various amounts of tuition fee waivers, also health insurance coverage, which is also very good, and some scholarship packages also include a monthly stipend to help you pay for your fees, like living fees. So the most prestigious master's scholarship is the Master's Excellence Scholarship. If you receive this, you would receive 1,000 euro per month. And then you can see the other master scholarship packages we have. And I have also found this diagram for you, which illustrates that about half of our students do receive some form of financial aid. So basically, as I mentioned, these are allocated based on merit, so based on the strength of your application. And you will need to apply for a scholarship at the same time you apply for the for your academic program. But the fact that you are applying for a scholarship will not have an effect on your academic standing. And for doctoral scholarships, those are the most generous ones, because if you apply by the financial aid deadline to any of our doctoral programs, you are automatically considered for our doctoral scholarships, which cover full tuition, health insurance, and a monthly doctoral stipend of 1,680 euros. And we have covered most of these scholarships. I would also like to call your attention that there are some additional external scholarships. So if you go to our external scholarships website, you will be able to find some ideas and guidance on how to apply to those, besides the CEU administered scholarships. I would like to call your attention to the fact that for the next academic year, so for those students who would like to start their studies in September 2024, the application deadline will be October 18th. And the reason for that is that you will need to also apply for a student visa. So you will need to apply for our academic programs quite early. And I would also encourage you to apply for a scholarship at the same time. If you have any questions, I am really approachable and I'm very happy to help you. I also give you, or I can give you one-on-one consultation sessions if you would feel like, but you are also very welcome to just write an email to me and I'll get back to you. My personal email address is kussa@ceu.edu. We also have this central email address, which is student-info@ceu.edu. And www.ceu.edu is our website. And if you have any questions, you are very welcome to ask.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ms. Aji, for that really informative presentation. And with that being said, the floor is now open for any questions that you may have, or if you are also interested in any other aspects that Ms. Aji did not touch on, please do ask. If you're shy, you can message me or Ms. Aji through the DMs in Zoom. So yeah, let's wait a minute for any questions. Okay, so I actually got a question, and this student is asking if does CEU have its own application form, and is there an application fee for this?
Yes, CEU has its own application form, and the application fee is 30 euros. But with that, you can apply to up to 5 separate programs. If you're interested in undergraduate programs, then you can apply to all 3, but I would not advise that because it may be too overwhelming. So I would just maybe advise you to pick 2 of your favorites that you feel it would be the best fit for you, and just apply for those. And also, whenever you're applying to a university program, I would also advise you to tailor each and every application to the specific programs, because your chances of getting in will be higher if the selection committee sees that you are dedicated and that you have done research about the university, about the program, and in your motivation letter you make connections to your research you have done about the university. And I would also, just like an application tip, I would also advise you to explain and clarify why you think you would be a good fit for the university. What are your strengths that you feel would contribute to the program or to the university or to the university community? And especially if you have done, if you have previous work experience, or if you have previous internship experience, those are the things that you should really highlight and draw lessons from. Those would really explaining these and highlighting your strength in these areas would really make your application stand out, I would say.
Thank you so much. I actually got another question asking if there are any in-campus dorms, and if there are none, how are student living situations like at CEU?
We don't have a dorm, but we have an agreement with a dorm provider company. And so basically there is a dorm where CEU students live. And basically it's a very safe dorm. There are resident advisors living there. They really help you to settle in. They are very approachable. If you have any questions, they are very happy to help you and assist you in any way they can. And basically it's just like a there is a 20-minute tram ride from door to door without having to change. So it's quite approachable. And when I was a student, at that time CEU was in Budapest, but I really enjoyed living in the dorms because you had a chance to meet students from other courses, from other disciplines, and we always had very good talks, and there was a lot to learn from each other. So it's a very inspiring atmosphere.
Okay, thank you so much. That's so great to hear. I also got another question. So you mentioned that we need to provide a motivation letter. So could you
Yes.
explain this more, since I don't think it's a familiar concept, especially here in the Philippines?
Okay, so basically a motivation letter is your chance to introduce yourself to the university, and just explain your previous experience, like what have you studied at your current high school or university, depending on the level. How did you develop an interest in a specific discipline or field of study? And have you, I don't know, taken a course that really caught your attention, that inspired you to further your studies in that direction? Or have you met someone like an author or a teacher, or have you read a book that captured your attention and decided that, oh wow, this is something, it's really interesting for me and I would like to learn more about this? So this is how you should structure it. And also a very important part of your motivation letter would be to explain what other things you have, what other steps you have taken to deepen your knowledge in that field. Like, for example, have you taken advanced courses in that field, or have you read other pieces of literature connected to that specific discipline? And also I would close with the plans for your future. Like you can explain that, for example, you have read on the CEU website, the course selection, and you feel that it would be very beneficial. You have researched CEU professors, you have read CEU professors' papers, or you have attended a conference, or also we will have, every year we have open days. And so basically, we understand, because we have so many students, so many international students, that not everyone can come on campus. So we usually have virtual open days as well. We also have like open classes, like a week where students can, participate in classes. So that would be also good to include if you have taken an initiative to connect with the university. And also if you have volunteer experience, like for example, if you're interested in let's say refugees or something, I'm just like picking up something, or environmental protection, whether are you maybe doing community service? Are you volunteering? Do you perhaps have an internship doing that? So all these things could come together, just highlighting your motivation for studying at our university, as well as the discipline you have chosen to apply to. I hope this responds to your question.
Yes, totally. I also understand now what a motivation letter is. Thank you so much. So I actually received another question. So what's the student life like in CEU? So I think they're asking whether like there are any organizations or clubs that are like available for students, especially like international students, just for them to get a taste of like university life ever.
Yeah. So I really enjoy student life, at our university, because there is always something going on. And basically, there are so many smart students from all around the world, and they don't just, go to classes and study all the time, but they have a lot of fun as well. For example, there are many student clubs. There is a lively and colorful series of activities you can participate in. Like, for example, as I mentioned, they have like a singing club if you're interested in singing, or they have an orchestra, or they sometimes they Well, it depends because, for example, 2 years ago, we used to have a theater club as well. So if you want to perform, you can do that as well. But also there is a hiking club for students who really like to go and enjoy nature. So there is always a lot going on. And we also have a student union. And basically, if you have a passion, if you have a hobby like photography or something, there is a photography club as well. But if you have something that you feel passionate about and you find a couple of friends in your cohort, you can apply for funding and you can establish your own club as well. So it's very easy to do in that way. So I'm pretty sure that once you come to CEU, you will find like-minded people who share your hobbies as well.
Thank you so much. I actually got another question. So what can be counted as a proof of English proficiency? So I think
Okay.
this is like
Yes.
a test or anything.
So basically, we accept, like, okay, so for if you have taken or if you have completed an entire degree in English, then it means that you will be you can get an exemption from submitting proof of English proficiency. If you have not completed your entire course of studies in English, then you would need to take either the TOEFL or IELTS or Cambridge tests, but we also accept the Duolingo. I don't know if you are familiar with that, but Duolingo, I usually advise students to take Duolingo for two reasons. One, is one of the cheapest ones to take. Second, you don't have to register for, I don't know, you can just register, a few days prior, and then you will receive the results quite fast. So basically, it's an advantage. You should take care. You should take it's an opportunity you should take advantage of, because we started to do this since COVID, but it proved to be such a successful initiative that we kept it, because students like taking Duolingo because it's easier.
Yes, I totally agree. Duolingo English tests are really accessible.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay. With that, I think that there's one last question that I have. It's, is English the main language used in the university, or would we have to learn other languages that are, for example, prominent in Vienna?
Yes. So basically, the official language of our university is English. So it's enough if you speak English. And if you would like to, you can take German courses as well. German is the official language of Vienna, or Austria for that matter. But it's easy to get by English only as well. So English is perfect.
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, those are all the questions that I have on my end. If there are none on your end, I think that means that we could close the Q&A forum. I think honestly that was a really informative forum. I'm so happy to see so many people like engaged with the talk. And yeah, so with that being said, thank you so much, Ms. Adrienne Boyukskikos, for your time. And if you would like to get to know more about CEU, please fill out this interest form, which I will share in the chat right now. So if you answer this form, it will let CEU know that, oh, you're interested in their university. And yeah, so thank you so much again, Ms. Adrienne. And I'm really excited to see everyone who was interested in CEU. So yes, thank you so much.
Yes, it was really nice being here. And, if you would like to know more about us, just, reach out, and I'm happy to, share more.
Thank you so much, Miss Adrian. And yeah, with that, our college fair has come to an end for the day. So I truly enjoyed listening to all the colleges talk about the exciting opportunities that await you if you do choose to attend their university. And again, thank you all so much for attending our college fair. And stay tuned for the next few days of our conference filled with lots of informative and essential talks that will definitely help you in your study abroad journey. So yeah, thank you again and bye bye. Thank you so much again, Miss Adrienne. Bye.